Hi, welcome to Soul Insights. My name's Jenny Leather, and today I'll be teaching you how to reconnect with your soul, to find that incredible wisdom. So there'll be some simple key points that will support you to unlock the doorway. And one of those things will be about understanding the wisdom of the language of both the soul and the mind. It's so exciting. We actually hold that wisdom within, and I'd love you to be able to access it with ease. Okay, we'll firstly start, just when you start teaching, it's good to have an understanding of where we're going, kind of where we start and then where we're trying to get to. So here we'll find that I've drawn a cylinder, and the cylinder is symbolic of our physical being. So it's the context that has our past experiences. We bring some of the insights and the grief and all the stuff that's happened along your genetic line. So we all know that we've got parents and grandparents, and then they had parents and grandparents. And so some of their experiences and the feelings they had about those experiences are brought into us. So then we also pick up belief systems from our schooling and from maybe our religion, depending on how we've been brought up, and culturally we also have things that are expected of us. And so then we get supported in making those shifts, and mentors help us and coaches help us to actually shift this context and have different belief systems that support us to grow with ease. So this whole area, context, can be quite solid, and the cylinder might be quite filled, and you can kind of feel tight in your body, and you're not flowing with life as easy as possible. So it's really exciting that we do hold the wisdom within. We just have to find out how to bring it out. So today, one of the things we want to do is start to break down this wall, the context, so that it can become more flexible and pliable. So this will require you to have a bit of an open mind so that you can take in new data that we call the content. So you've had lots of content from the religions and from our family and from, perhaps our political influences. So today we want to expand the context so you can get more content in, and you can feel in your body that there's going to be great potential. So one of the contextual shifts that really supported me is when I understood that I was a spiritual being having a physical experience. So everything that's happening to us is great, but we just have to learn how to understand it differently. So all this new wisdom actually supports us to nourish the soul, to actually have it being recognised and feel that good feelings within. So we're going to expand the context so that we're not quite so full. There'll be space for new information to come in that will actually support you to reconnect to the soul, to find that wisdom within, and to move forward with it. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you've downloaded the Reclaim Your Power flip chart that I used over the years, supporting people to bring back the vibrancy in life. This whole chart is about supporting you to shift and break up that contextual wall so that new information can come in, new ways of being can come in that will support you to be the creator of your life. Great. So let's start having a look at what I would call one of the key areas. And now we're putting in some more content. We're putting more content into that cylinder. And I've really highlighted it here about being responsible. Really, until we understand that we can be responsible without blaming and without having ourselves feel bad, then it's very hard to change. So some of my clients actually say to me, Jen, but I didn't cause that situation, and that wasn't my fault. And I hear them. I really do hear them. And I hear the pain that comes with some of those conversations. But what I'm telling you is when you realise that the common denominator in every situation in your life is you. You were there, you played your part, and if we actually get out of this right, wrong, fault, blame, that sort of energy, which actually has us playing below the line and losing our power and losing our energy, so that we're in the vibration that we manifest illness. It's really a negative space for us to be working in. And it becomes habitual. You know, once you've found a way of being that's kind of comfortable, even if it is a bit crappy, you know, people get used to being anxious. People get used to feeling sick. And what we want to say is, when you understand by being responsible, you're actually taking the driver's seat of your life back, and then you have the ability to heal. You have the ability to hear the magic that the emotions hold. And one of the first steps in playing above the line and bringing our life force particles back, the energy that we've given to situations and people, is to be gentle on ourselves. Every human being does the best they can do in any moment in time. I'm telling you, there's wisdom held within that at Soul Insights we're going to keep sharing and keep supporting you to actually raise that vibration. So we're just going to keep explaining different ways that you can increase your energy. One of the things that you might need to do is forgive yourself. Forgive the people that were involved. So here's one of the contextual shifts I'm talking about. Say if we were to imagine that every person that we come across is an angel holding a gift that actually will help you heal from within. So sometimes I find that people say, oh, my partner makes me feel X, Y, Z. Well, if I look at it from that different context, I could say my partner is help activating an emotion within that I've probably had a layer of concrete on. And my partner is helping crack open that concrete a bit to bring up the emotion to be healed. To be healed so that I can move on and step into my authentic path. So that's the gift forgiveness holds. And sometimes the biggest one to forgive is ourselves. How many of you are aware of the little chatter inside your head? So I call it the little voice. Some people call it the ego mind. I've actually heard people call it the chimp. It's all the same thing. But actually, that chatter connects to experiences and stories that have happened in the past, and they all have an emotional charge, and they have the tendency to actually lower your vibration. Because the chimp, the ego mind, whatever you choose to call it, that little voice, gets into stories. It gets into the stories of how somebody else is to blame. Why you're justified in behaving the way you do. What's the excuse that you tell someone when you're not able to do something that you say you'll do? All this chatter is actually stealing this energy. And it all comes from that energy of fear. You'll also notice that, it's very prevalent in the TV, the newspapers, generally the media are feeding us so much fear because it actually has us more controllable. And that's exactly how they want us. So let's start today by deciding to be responsible, to play above the line. And if for anybody who's heard of the law of attraction and Abraham's teachings, it's all supporting you to play above this line. So how I actually used the flip chart myself, when I was going through incredible challenges, I found myself on the couch blaming the situation, blaming others for us losing our wealth by, there was always a story why things weren't better. And so I found myself playing below the line. I wasn't able at that moment to take responsibility. But as soon as I took my own teachings into play and started to breathe, started to meditate, started to ask for the guidance to come in, this was about being gentle on myself. And my energy picked up, my vibration raised. And I could start thinking about what was my true passion. I've always wanted to teach. I've always wanted to share the hows of turning your life around. And I've found from my own personal experience, courage is sometimes needed. Sometimes it takes a little while for the physical manifestation to catch up with even your vibration. So the courage that's required just needs to be supported by grace. There's a calmness that comes with your life when you connect to your soul. Down here, the vibration's a bit shaky and not knowing where to go. When we come above the line, then the vibration and the feeling and the calmness that comes with it is just magical. Trust and faith. Again, we're raising the vibration. We're knowing that we are spiritual beings, that we are connected to non-physical guidance. And when you get to the energy of appreciation, it actually is just beautiful. It just has a calmness, it has a knowing. It actually has you smiling because you're continually looking out and seeing what you're blessed, where you're blessed in your life. The stomach settles down. You can breathe with ease. You start to see the magic happening every day because you're in that appreciation. And all this is supported by the vibration of love. If we can keep bringing ourselves back into knowing the perfection of life, that life really is an exciting game. We just have to pick up these keys, a little bit of education that will support you to find the wisdom within, and that's our passionate soul insights. And it won't only be me teaching, I'm actually going to invite other people to teach as well. If you send your questions in, then if I didn't know the answer, I would actually ask someone else to come on and help support us all. Please start playing along. Start asking the questions that are prompted by this teaching. And next week we'll be back to give the next lessons. Beautiful. Have a great week. Just enjoy life. And I understand if you're feeling challenged at the moment, just take a couple of deep breaths. Ask for the support that you need. Ask for the wisdom to come because it's all within.